Until a few years ago, enterprises used to have to bother only with structured data, which used to exist in relational databases and generated from transactional systems. We are, of course, living in a world where those distinctions, the boundaries between enterprise data from transactional systems and worldwide unstructured content that is generated by consumers and by employees, that dividing line is getting blurred. And the effect of that blurring dividing line is that now a wide variety of data is available for analysis and for consideration and improvement of business operations. The cross-sectionality of data is an interesting phenomenon, an interesting attribute of the way big data has affected the way we look at our environment. Obviously, the three characteristics of big data, that is volume, velocity, and variety, all have an impact on the way data is considered as an information asset, as an asset which can be harvested for improving business operations. Let's have a quick look at what does this mean for us as data scientists, and what are the kind of technology improvements and technology enhancements that we are dealing with, or we have to incorporate in the way we look at data to make sense of it so that it can have dramatic effect on business operations. The first things to remember is that when you look at cross-sectional data, which comes from structured transactional systems and unstructured content that comes from the World Wide Web or from document systems within the company, when you put these two things together, they make a lot of sense when they are viewed in context. To give you an example, if I know the transaction history of a customer, and if I can overlay that with the correspondence the customer has had with my service departments, and if I have an idea of the complaints that the customer has flagged off, and the effect that has on his behavior or her behavior with my corporation, I can have a lot more contextual understanding of what the customer wants, what are the influences the customer is willing to accept, and what are the pain points that the customer experiences, so that I can proactively may address those kind of challenges. While this sounds intuitively very simple, technologically this poses a significant problem. What is the problem we are chasing here? When a customer writes in a tweet or a Facebook update, if you will, or even sends a mail to my customer service department complaining about a certain product delivery which did not happen to his satisfaction, the data obviously comes in the form of free text. And when you're talking about corporations which have millions of customers, manually sifting through all that free text and deriving those nuggets is extremely difficult. It is time consuming and it is expensive. You need armies of people who can just sift through data and derive those nuggets out. Now this is where an interesting attribute of language technologies, machine learning, artificial intelligence have a very significant role to play in abstracting out those kinds of intelligence and making it available for further analysis. How does this work? What you need to do is to go back to a technology area which has been in existence for some time. It has been explored by a variety of scientists across the world, and that is an area of the semantic web. What does semantic web mean? Semantic web effectively means to have a way in which data can be stored so that machines can quickly and intuitively understand them. For instance, I should be able to create a structure or a format in which I can store all this free text and thereby create a logical layer for my system so that it can explore the data and abstract out the information that is most contextually relevant. To give you an example, when a customer says, I love Paris, does the customer talk about Paris the city, or Paris the character from the Greek tragedies, or is he talking about Paris Hilton? To make sense of that information and making that contextually available with the rest of the information that is available with the company will create a dramatic impact in customer understanding, and thereby the way organizations can react to customer requirements and proactively meet those requirements.